Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today's video I'll be showing you guys some Ultra League battles with this new team I created, which includes Cresslia, Melmetal, and Muck. I did really enjoy using this team, and I do think that we will be able to get a really good score with this. So we will be using this team frequently and try to see what score we will be getting. But if you guys do enjoy, please consider dropping a like, subscribing, and setting notifications on. And with that being said, let's get out with today's video. For the first round, my opponent's first Pokemon is a Togekiss. Togekiss is a Fairy and Flying type Pokemon, so both of us will be doing neutral damage against each other. Fairy will be doing neutral damage against my Cresslia, but not very effective damage against my Melmetal, so I do want to have a open swap to make a swap onto my Melmetal or perhaps even my Muck, because my Muck does also have Acid Spray that will be doing a good amount of super effective damage. Acid Spray is meant to be used only for debuffs, but Poison is still super effective against Fairy types, so it still will be good to use against that Togekiss. So the mistake I did make here was actually not being able to throw in that Moonblast. That did actually cost us my Cresslia. If I did throw in that Moonblast, my opponent probably wouldn't have shielded, and then I would have been able to see a second Pokemon, because if he did make a swap out into a Pokemon like an Entei or a Swampert, that would have been very bad. But if I did have my Cresslia still alive, then that would have been even better. But my opponent does make a swap out into an Alolan Muck. Alolan Muck is a Dark and Poison type Pokemon, so he will be doing neutral damage against my Melmetal. These Rock Slides are doing pretty good damage against him. My only Pokemon that I will have to fight against that Alolan Muck is actually only my Alolan Muck, so I do have to watch out. He does throw in a Dark Pulse that did almost feint us. Rock Slide does charge up here. I do want to feint that Alolan Muck as soon as possible, because I do not want my Alolan Muck actually fighting him. So my opponent does throw in a shield there, and my opponent's final Pokemon is actually a Giratina. He still does have that Alolan Muck in the back, but I'm just happy that his final Pokemon is that Giratina, because Giratina is a Ghost and Dragon type Pokemon. Dark types will be doing super effective damage against Dark types. I did decide to throw in an Acid Spray there first, because I did want to get a defense debuff. I did know that Dark Pulse will not be able to feint him even if he does have max health, but if he does have that defense debuff, it will be able to feint him even from max health. And because of that, it does allow us to win the first round. Good game to my opponent. Alright guys, for the second round, my opponent's first Pokemon is actually a Poliwrath. Poliwrath is a fighting and water type Pokemon, so this is a very good start due to Psychic types being super effective against fighting types. Because of this, we are going to be doing super effective damage once again. My Moonblast is charged up. He is already half health. The Psychic, my confusion is just taking chunks off of him, and he does make a swap out into a Sizzler. Sizzler is a bug and metal type Pokemon, so my Psychic and metal and Fairy type Pokemon, or my Psychic and Fairy type moves, will be doing not very effective damage due to Psychic not being very effective against metal types, and Fairy types being not very effective against metal types. I did make a swap out into my Melmetal due to Melmetal having Rock Slide. Rock Slide is a rock type charge move. Rock types are super effective against bug types, but not very effective against metal types. His Fury Cutter is also going to be doing super effective damage against Cresslia due to bug types being super effective against psychic types. And he does also have Night Slash, and dark types are super effective against psychic types once again. So my Melmetal does have his Rock Slide charged up once again. This will definitely faint him from the health that he is at. So his first Pokemon does go down. He is down by 1 shield. And if he does make a swap out into Polygrath, my Thunder Shock will still be doing super effective damage against him. And because of that, he does realize that most of my Pokemon does counter his, allowing us to win the second round. Good game to my opponent. Alright guys, for the third round, my opponent's first Pokemon is also a Cresslia. Cresslia is only a Psychic type Pokemon, so good thing I do have Moonblast. If he does have a Psy Strike or any Psychic type charge move, or Grass Knot even, Moonblast will out damage all of them, so that is good that I do have Moonblast. My Moonblast does go through. We do not see a shield go through here. We also get a free hit, and my opponent does make a swap onto a Giratina. Giratina is a dragon and ghost type Pokemon, so that does allow my Alolan Muk to come in. What I do like to do is I do like to throw an Acid Spray first to get that defense debuff, and then since my charge moves do charge up really fast because I do have Snarl, it is very easy to get to that Dark Pulse. I am going to be throwing in the Acid Spray once again, get that defense debuff. Acid Spray is mostly used for defense debuffs. You can use it for damage, like if it's like a Togekiss. As you guys saw, that did do barely any damage because it was not very effective. This is really good because after this, his Cresslia may be coming out. Because this Giratina, he did not shield his Giratina up, but he did actually make a swap onto a Abomasnow. This is even better because my Acid Spray will be doing super effective damage due to Abomasnow being a poison. No, due to Abomasnow being an ice and grass type Pokemon. Poison types will be doing super effective damage against grass types. He does also have a defense debuff, and right when my Alolan Muk does faint, I am going to make a swap onto a Melmetal. Because Melmetal does have Rock Slide. Rock Slide will be doing super effective damage due to Rock being super effective against Ice types. So my Rock Slide does charge up right here. It probably will not be going through. He will probably be throwing in a shield, or he may not throw in a shield. If he doesn't, that still is okay. That is even better for us because we do have 2 really good health Pokemon. As you guys see here, his Confusion from his Cresslia is barely doing any damage against my Melmetal because Psychic types will be doing not very effective damage against Steel types. He does use a Future Sight there that did do a pretty good amount of damage, not enough to do a lot of damage. Still is damage though. My opponent does throw in his first shield here when I did throw in my Rock Slide. He is down by 1 shield. And as you guys see here, this is a very clear win for me because I do have my full health Cresslia left. I can just charge up to a Moonblast after he does use his shields for all of these Rock Slides that I am going to be throwing from my Melmetal. And because of that, it does allow us to win the third round. Good game to our opponent. Alright guys, for the fourth round, my opponent's first Pokemon is a Reshiram. My Melmetal will be doing very good against him if he doesn't have a flamethrower. But since I don't know Reshiram's movesets, I haven't been seeing him in the Ultra League, so I do just decide to stick with my Cresslia. My Cresslia with Confusion is doing a good amount of damage. His Treasure Whip does go through here. It is actually a Stone Edge. My Moonblast does charge up as well. He does have Dragon Breath as his fast move, and it is doing some damage. Not a lot like my Confusion, but it still is doing doing damage. My Moonblast does get a shield that is very good, and we are the same health because my confusion is just so strong. I did think I did go for the farm down, but my opponent did make a swap out into a Vaporeon. Vaporeon is an only water type Pokemon, so my Melmetal will be doing pretty good against him. He will be taking water neutral damage from his water hits back, but he does get a very good farm down onto my Cresslia, so that does mean that he may have enough energy to throw in a Hydro Pump maybe. But I do think I did decide to go for the hard farm down here with Thunder Shock due to electric types being super effective against water types. So I do throw in a shielder because he did have a huge amount of energy left, and it was actually a Hydro Pump, and I still will be able to go for the very hard farm down here. He is very low. I am just going to use all of my shields since both of my Rock Slides will be able to take one of his shields, especially if he does make a swap out into that Reshiram. My Rock Slide will be doing so much damage. I did throw in my final shield. It is actually another Hydro Pump, one Thunder Shock away from fainting. He does go down. I do have 2 Rock Slides left. I do have 0 shields left though. So he does make a swap onto an Entei. I do have to get a really good excellent on this because Rock Slide will be doing a lot of super effective damage against him. Due to Rock types being super effective against Fire types, we do not see a shield on the first Rock Slide, but for my second Rock Slide, we may see a shield. I think he did think I was going to throw in another charge move, like maybe a superpower or something like that, but it was only a Rock Slide, and he did take half of the health for that. I did make a swap onto a Alolan Muk. Alolan Muk is pretty tanky, as you guys saw there. He did take that Stone Edge pretty well. He does have 0 shields left, so this Dark Pulse will be going through. Because of that, it does allow us to win the 4th round. Good game to my opponent. Alright guys, for the 5th and final round, my opponent's first Pokemon is a Togekiss. So Togekiss will probably win the one-on-one because he is going to be both of us will be doing neutral damage, but I do think Charm is just way stronger than Confusion. My Moonblast does charge up. He does get that Charm hit really quickly because I think there was a slight delay there, so I couldn't get that Moonblast before he did throw in that Charm. We do see a shield go through, and we do reach the half point health. If he didn't get those extra Charm hits, we would have been the same health, but sadly he did, so we are the same health. I do have to mirror his shields here because I do not know what his charge move is going to be. It is actually an Ancient Power, and once again we do have another delay there. We couldn't go for the farm hit or the Confusion hit right when he did throw in his charge move. As you guys know, there is a slight delay once again after you do have a charge move charged up, so we didn't get that hit because of that. So my opponent's second Pokemon is actually a Gyarados. Gyarados is a water and flying type Pokemon, so my Melmetal will be doing really good against him due to my Thunder Shock is an electric type fast move. Electric types will be doing super effective against both water types and flying types, so that does cause double super effective damage. Rock Slide will also be doing super effective damage and will instantly fade into the health that he is at. His Dragon Breath is barely even piercing my Melmetal. The Aqua Tail though is very strong, so we do have to summon a shield here. This is probably going to be another Aqua Tail, or it is going to be a Crunch. It is actually an Aqua Tail, and my Rock Slide does charge up here. This would have been very risky if he did have a Swampert maybe in the back. That would have been very bad because Swampert basically counters both my Alolan Muk and my Melmetal. So this is very unlucky for me because I did throw in the Acid Sprayer to get that defense debuff. So this is what I tried to do. He was left with 1 HP right after the one-on-one. Since Lucario does counter basically my Melmetal and both my Muk, because fighting types will be doing super effective damage against dark types, but not very effective damage against poison types. That will be causing neutral damage to happen. He does throw in a shadow ball here, and I do try to charge up to my dark pulse. I think the play I should have done was thrown in 2 dark pulses instead of going for that acid spray. I think I would have fainted him with 2 dark pulses. As you guys see how much damage it did there, and it was only a defense debuff, like a regular defense debuff. He does have his charge moves charged up, and my metal is pretty low, so he will faint from a shadow wall. Or if he does throw in a power up punch, this power up punch will be doing super effective damage against us, because fighting types are super effective against steel types. And as you guys see here, he is 1 more thunder shock away. I think the play I should have done there was throwing that dark pulse. That was my mistake, but because of that, we did lose the 5th round. Good game to our opponent.